Welcome to the Weightlifting platform, where we gather weekly to talk to people who do nothing weekly. See what we did there? The Weightlifting platform is brought to you by the Panamerican Weightlifting Federation. I'm your host, Richard Mason. On this week's show, we'll talk with the reigning world champ and world record holder in the snatch in one of the most exciting weight classes. We'll talk with 96 kilo athlete from Colombia, Lesman Paredes. For our tip of the week, we'll hear about the other experts that should surround an elite athlete after they already have a good coach. And for our regular feature, Good to Know, the one time that the sport has been featured at the top of the university pile. We'll get more details. But first, here are the headlines. The International Weightlifting Federation is working with some Swiss-based academics to research what can be done better. The project, with the Institute of Sports Sciences at the University of Lausanne, will look at all international sporting bodies over 4 years and evaluate how they do when it comes to sport itself, money, economics, media, social, and their performance in society. The second stage looks at how the IWF can use that data from all the sports to improve how it itself does in those categories. The data will also be shared with all the other international sport bodies. This could take 4 years. The chair of the IWF's Athletes Commission wants to talk about ways to further engage fans in some of the sport's hidden excitements. In an article with Inside the Game's website, Sarah Davis talks about a scheduled meeting with the Athletes Commission. She's looking to increase fan engagement, get the people watching to be more invested in the athletes, each specific lift, and the sport in general. One possibility being discussed is dropping the walls that hide the warm-up room, or possibly having athletes compete in different formats, team formats, that kind of thing. The hope is if more people get to see how exciting the sport is, more will want to watch and maybe even join in. Those are today's headlines. Now, good to know. Weightlifting's been around for decades. Universities, some of them, have been around for centuries. But it wasn't until just over 10 years ago that the sport of weightlifting featured in the university's biggest showcase of sport. It was the 26th Summer Universiade in Shenzhen, China, the first time they ever had weightlifting. There have been 2 Universiades since, no weightlifting. It also doesn't look good for the 2023 version in Russia. Unfortunate, but maybe we can get back on that agenda. And that is good to know. Now, time to talk. Lesman Paredes of Colombia is the reigning champ from the last World Championships in Tashkent. He lifted 187, 213 for a 400 kilo total in the 96s to get the gold medal in the total. Because of our language issues, he speaks Spanish and my Spanish is muy terrible. There will be hesitations or maybe edits as we have our amazing producer, Sofia Gonzalez, bridge the language gap as much behind the scenes as we can. Lesman, welcome to the weightlifting platform.
Hola, hola, ¿cómo están?
Now, tell me, how did you first find yourself with a barbell in your hands?
Bueno, yo empecé el levantamiento de pesas en 2009, fue mi primera experiencia con el levantamiento de pesas.
Now, in those early days back in 2009, did you know that it was going to be something you'd be good at?
No, no lo sabía, nunca me lo imaginé. Siempre fue al principio como un hobby, después ya le fui tomando amor al deporte, a los viajes, a los uniformes y ya me enamoré del levantamiento de pesas.
Now, you talked about the trips. Your first international event was in Russia. What was that like? You were a young man traveling the world and going to Russia, of all places. What was that like for you?
La verdad fue una experiencia que nunca me imaginé. De hecho, esa experiencia marcó, yo creo que ya mi carrera deportiva de ahí en adelante. Estar parado frente a los mejores del mundo, eso que me motivará a entrenar más y más y pues a lograr alcanzar los resultados de ahí.
Congratulations. Now, your first international gold medal came just under a year later at the Pan Am Juniors, where you totaled 348. That's a great number to put up at that age. Did you expect to be that successful that soon?
La verdad no, pero siempre estuve rodeado de personas que me invitaban a mejorar. Me decían que yo tenía muchas posibilidades, que tenía mucho talento y a medida que pasaba el tiempo me fui, o sea, fui creyendo más en mí y teniendo más confianza.
Now, later in 2015, so we're talking just 6 years ago, you placed fourth at World Juniors in Poland and then fifth at the Senior Worlds in Houston with 355 and 379 as your totals. Now, those are great numbers, but you didn't get on the podium. Were you happy with the lifts, or were you the kind of guy that walked away going, darn, I really wanted a medal?
Gané medalla de bronce en arranque, medalla de bronce en arranque. Esa experiencia es la más importante de todas las medallas que he ganado hasta hoy, porque me di cuenta que podría lograr los objetivos que me planteara siempre y cuando trabajara duro pues siguiera entrenando de la forma en que lo decían los entrenadores. Entonces ese recuerdo siempre lo tengo aquí grabado de mi primera medalla de bronce a nivel mundial.
Well, congratulations. Now, you didn't lift at the Pan Am Games in 2015. It looks to me like you've got the kind of numbers that you would have done well in Toronto. Why were you not on the Pan Am Games team in 2015?
Bueno, en ese momento no estaba en la mira de los entrenadores nacionales del equipo mayor, apenas estaba como aumentando mi rendimiento y mis marcas, entonces al momento en que se hicieron las inscripciones todavía no estaba en el radar de los entrenadores. Cuando ya se hizo el campeonato, yo tenía las marcas para competir y poder disputar por medalla de oro, pero ya se había pasado el tiempo de las inscripciones.
Now, 2016, you've got more success coming. You defended your junior Pan American title. You got your first ever world podium, in the total, with a silver medal at Junior Worlds. Uh, that silver medal, did that feel any? I know you talked about the bronze being so special in the snatch. Did the silver in the total mean anything more, or was it just a medal on your journey?
Bueno, esa medalla fue literalmente con lo último de fuerza que me quedaba, porque ese año 2016 tuve una lesión de espalda y eso fue como en enero, febrero, como en marzo que me di cuenta de la lesión de espalda. Aún me quedaban 2 meses para el mundial y yo tomé la decisión de alargar el entrenamiento y ver posibilidades en el mundial y después del mundial ya hacerme la operación de espalda. Entonces tuve que resistir todo ese tiempo entrenando con el dolor que tenía en la espalda y haber logrado la medalla en ese campeonato fue fue un reto que pues al final salió como yo quería y la verdad estuve muy satisfecho.
Now, speaking of injuries, what happened at the Summer Universiade in 2017? It looks to me like when I look back at the results that you weighed in, but you didn't even come out for the first attempt. What happened?
Bueno, 2017 fue un año muy difícil para mí. A principio me realizaron la cirugía en marzo de 2017. Hablando con los médicos y los entrenadores, pues el tiempo de recuperación daba para competir en Taipei, en la universidad. Y entrenamos bien, la recuperación fue excelente y faltando el día anterior para la competencia, tuve un desgarro en la pierna, el cual me imposibilitó para poder competir. Y al día siguiente nos pesamos y intentamos darle, pero no pudimos.
Okay. Your next meet was 4 years later. What happened in that 4 years? Was there a lot of rehabilitation, more surgery? What happened in that 4 year gap?
Fue un periodo oscuro, un periodo oscuro porque venía de la operación de espalda, luego en la competencia me lesionó la pierna. Al año siguiente, en 2018, me tuvieron que realizar una operación por la lesión que tuve en Taipei. Eh, Después de eso también otros años ya más de rehabilitación y de recuperación y vine a sentirme mejor y a poder competir en los Juegos Nacionales de aquí de Colombia a finales de 2019. Fue donde en verdad ya pude competir y realizar mis entrenamientos de la mejor manera.
Fast forward now to this year. Well, actually, last year, 2021, you won the Pan Am Championships. You won the South American Championships as a 102, and then you got back to being a 96, winning worlds and setting a snatch world record on your second attempt. When you went out there, I watched the video. I was right there. I saw it live. All I could think was, it looked to me like you were trying to be calm. You're just tranquilo, tranquilo. Did you know that you were going to make 187?
Bueno, algo que me caracteriza a mí es que siempre me tengo mucha confianza, me tengo mucha fe y de acuerdo con los entrenamientos y el proceso del entrenador sabíamos que íbamos teníamos posibilidades de romper el récord y lo importante era estar bien de salud en ese momento y sentirnos muchísimo mejor que en los entrenamientos, ¿no? Entonces, cuando ganamos la medalla de oro con el primer movimiento, el entrenador me pregunta cuánto vamos. Entonces yo le digo 185. Después él me queda mirando y me dice, no, pues vamos 187. Igual tienes dos oportunidades. Entonces esa confianza que me mostró el entrenador también me sirvió de motivación para poder realizar ese movimiento.
It's great that your coach has that kind of faith in you. Now, what happens next? We're a ways away from the next Olympics. What's next for you?
Bueno, mi objetivo ahorita sería cuidarme mucho, tener muy buena salud para así poder hacer un buen ciclo olímpico y poder llegar a París. El objetivo de este año sería el mundial que tenemos en China, poder repetir y mejorar marcas para así poder posicionándonos en la clasificación a los Juegos Olímpicos.
Wonderful. We very much appreciate you taking the time. We're going to talk to you on the clock next. Now, this is where we ask you a bunch of questions that some are weightlifting related, some are just fun, just to get to know Lesman a little better. Are you ready for the challenge? We're going to put some pressure on you. We're going to put a weightlifter's 1 minute clock up there, and let's do this
Listo.
in 3, 2, 1. You missed your last snatch attempt at Worlds. How long before you're going to make that 190?
Yo creería que para el mundial en China estaría haciendo mucho más que eso.
Fantastic. What's your favorite song?
La que estaba escuchando en el calentamiento de la competencia se llama Dior de Post Mode.
Okay. The best thing about being a weightlifter?
Yo creería que la confianza que tiene uno al momento de estar solo con la barra, ese momento es indispensable.
Now, country that you want to visit, but you haven't had a chance to go to yet.
Australia, Australia.
Fantastic. Time's up. Lesman, we very much appreciate you taking the time and sharing with us. Our tip of the week is next. You're an athlete and you're ready to be elite. You've got the coach, you've got the weights, you think you've got the ability. Is that enough? Well, we sat down and talked with Finland's Sara Ratalainen about what other experts you need to bring around you to be elite for our tip of the week.
Hi, my name is Sara Retulainen. I'm a weightlifter from Finland, and I'm here to give you the tip of the week. My tip is to surround yourself with other professionals than your coach as well. We all rely on our coaches and their professional skills to do the programming and all that hard work at the gym with us. But outside the gym, it's really important to have those professionals help you there as well. For example, I use a physiotherapist once a week and we go through my body, and she helps a lot with my recovery, and also we do a lot of work to do prehab so we don't get any injuries. So I reckon the part of the physiotherapist being part of the team helps a lot with injury prevention. And the most important thing for all athletes are that you have as much healthy training days as you can get. And how you get those healthy training days are taking care of your body and trusting those professionals on that field as well to help you make the most out of your training. On this video, you see me working with my physiotherapist, and this time we were just doing manual therapy, going through my quads after a hard training day yesterday. Most of the time we do concentrate on the legs, but also the upper body is really important. And as well as doing the manual therapy, we do a lot of movements in my workout. So usually in the warm-up, I'll have anywhere from 2 to 3 warm-up movements that will help me get ready for those heavy lifts. And then after my workout, I would do some kind of prehab movements just to take care of my knees and hips and back and all that, so I don't get any injuries. I hope this reminds you how important it is to take care of your body throughout those heavy training periods and to trust those professionals around you to help you make the most out of your training.
Thanks for joining us for this week's edition of the Weightlifting Platform, brought to you by the Pan American Weightlifting Federation. If you like what you see and you want to see more of it, the easiest way is bookmark us on YouTube. You could also like the IWF on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, IWFNET. I'm Richard Mason. Good lifting.